Kumkamsa Nablenge. I hope your weekday has begun well. Let's dive straight into the main highlights from today's proceedings in the Tibetan Parliament. Chaired by Honorable Speaker Kembustam Tempela, the fifth day of the 17th Tibetan Parliament-in-Exile's 10th session, the general session, began at 9:30. With the third start question of the session from Parliamentarian addressed to Sikyom Pemba. His inquiry focused on the stalled Tibet-China dialogue since 2010, seeking Kashak's perspective on the matter, as well as the current status of the Permanent Strategy Committee. He further asked whether the Central Tibetan Administration considers any changes necessary in the approach to Tibet-China dialogue in light of shifting international political dynamics. Sikyom Pemba provided clarifications to the questions as well as to the supplementary questions raised by about 5 parliamentarians. In response, he stated that given the current authoritarian nature of China's government, he does not hold much hope. Nevertheless, back-channel communication is ongoing. He also added that should there be a more receptive CCP leadership, a major shift within China, or significant global changes, they are assessing both the strategic opportunities and challenges such development could present to the Tibetan movement. He also highlighted China's complete dismissal of the Central Tibetan Administration, treating the Tibet-China dialogue solely as a matter between His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama and his entourage, while failing to acknowledge the Tibet issue itself. The session then proceeded with the presentation of the Standing Committee's review of the Department of Education, Shiri Likung's detailed 2024 to 2025 annual report, and with the motion for debate on the department's concise report and the review by the Standing Committee. The session then proceeded with clarifications from Shiri Kalun. Following the morning tea break, the session was chaired by Honorable Deputy Speaker Domatsin Tekhala and focused on deliberations concerning the Department of Education and the various autonomous bodies under its jurisdiction. Around 30 members of the parliament took part, raising their concerns and observations, while also putting forward recommendations on the department's different administrative divisions and programs. During the House deliberation on the Department of Education and its autonomous bodies, the members commended the department and the school faculties under its supervision for their remarkable academic achievement this year. Some members also raised inquiries and requests regarding the possibility of granting permanent status to contractual staff in Sambodha School, along with appeals to increase the salaries of DCV staff. Many members praised the publication of a children's book inspired by the experiences of former Tibetan political prisoners, along with the several Tibetan language storybooks for children. There were also requests to incorporate social, emotional, ethical learning, that's C learning, as well as problem solving and critical thinking into the school syllabus to further encourage innovative learning. A member of parliament also raised inquiries concerning the existing reservation of seats for professional courses, the Tibetan Charter School in Minnesota, and questions were raised about the more than 90 Tibetan weekend schools in Western countries and ways to further support and facilitate them by the Department of Education. Furthermore, discussions ranged from emphasizing the importance of strengthening Tibetan language classes to deliberation on Gorshe. Concerns were also raised regarding the schools impacted by the protest in Kathmandu and the flood situation in Kulu Manali. So Thalam Domala provided the requisite clarifications to all the queries. The session then proceeded with Kalu Gerdomala of the Department of Security, Desong Lekung, presenting the department's concise annual 2024 to 2025's report. This was followed by the tabling of the Standing Committee's review of the department's detailed annual report. It's entirely the same process. So subsequently, a motion for debate on the department's securities, concise report, and the Standing Committee's review was presented, after which clarifications were provided, in fact read out by Karun Gendrumla. So the general deliberation on all the reports under the jurisdiction of the Department of Security were scheduled to continue in tomorrow's session, preceded by the fourth start question of the session, followed by discussions on various legislative amendments. So watch out for that tomorrow. So the House today adjourned at 6 p.m. and will reconvene at 9:30 tomorrow. So I hope that you'll be available to check on the fourth start question of the session, the 10th session, and the important legislative amendments that will be tabled in tomorrow's session. I believe that there'll be a wide range of healthy and robust discussion that will take place in the morning session for the legislative amendments. So I believe that's part of the democratic process, especially as the legislative body of the democratic setup. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that you'll be able to check us live. If not, I'll be there tomorrow to give you the updates. Let's say,